You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, theys and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're all having a great night, day, weekend, whenever you're checking this out. I've got a review for Catching Dust, which is directed and written by first-time director Stuart Gatt. This film stars the incredible, brilliant, gorgeous, talented Erin Moriarty, who of course you know from The Boys, as well as the beautiful, gorgeous hunk of Australian man beef that is Jai Courtney, who of course you know from A Good Day to Die Hard and of course the Suicide Squad films. So, as I've mentioned on the podcast before, one thing that I absolutely adore is when new directors get a chance. You know, before Jordan Peele was Jordan Peele, you know, he was doing stuff on Key and Peele and Chocolate News and Mad TV. Like, you never know who's gonna hit, so it's always cool to see someone new step up to the plate, because you could be witnessing, the start of something special. And I gotta say, with Stuart Gatt, I really feel like that's the case. I really feel like we're witnessing the birth of someone 5 years from now. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh man, this guy is the shit." Like, maybe you need to put him on your radar right now, because one thing that I really liked about this movie right out the box is it reminded me a lot of oh gosh, I'm totally blanking on the name of the film now. It reminds me of that film that Kitty Green directed, The Royal Hotel, and it really reminds me of the film this year that Francis Galuppi directed in The Last Stop in Yuma County. If you went ahead and did a triple feature of those, which I'll be honest, at some point I probably will, you'd have a fun fucking time. And I say fun as not like ha 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 fun, but it would just be one of those triple features you'd go, hell yeah. This is a movie that does such a great job at taking its tension and just slowly ramping it up. I know I've used this analogy before, but it really is like taking a sound dial and just slowly turning the volume up little by little as the film goes on. The thing about this movie as well is that it doesn't give you everything at once. It really does make you, kind of start to put the pieces together. But when I got to the end of this, I was like, wow, I don't know how I feel about that ending. And I mean that as a compliment. Obviously no spoilers, but I think some people will take the ending, they'll think of it as more triumphant than it actually is. And that's all I'm going to say about the ending. Once y'all watch this and you see it, you'll get what I'm talking about. So Jai Courtney plays Clyde and Erin Moriarty plays Gina, and they are a married couple who's living out in the middle of nowhere on this commune in the middle of West Texas. As someone who grew up in Texas, it's not hard to find a spot that is out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and this place is in the middle of fucking nowhere. You can definitely feel that there's tension between Clyde and Gina. They don't say how long they've been out there. Not to my memory, at least. They've been out there, I'd say probably at least 6 months. So they've been out there for a minute. They've been out there long enough that there is a routine, that they've established a routine. Clyde goes ahead and gets up and hunts, goes ahead and brings home dinner, brings home, lunch and everything. He'll occasionally go into town to go ahead and get supplies, but we don't know why they're just out in the middle of nowhere, why they're hiding. Once you find out why, it is one of those like, oh, that's why. That actually does make some sense. But you can tell that Gina is really starting to get restless, as because they're really just living in a very small trailer, and they're getting water from like a well, and they're growing their own, like growing some plants and stuff like that. They really are living off the land for the most part, and their whole world is thrown into chaos when they go ahead and they interact with this new couple who comes out to go ahead and get away from it all. We find out that they're two people who come from New York, who are played by Ryan Kaur and Adina Shahabi, respectively. Ryan Kaur from Holding the Man and The Water Diviner, most likely, and then Dina Shahabi, from Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. Pardon me, as well. So, one thing I love about this couple is that it really is this question of what Gina is all about. Like, is Gina living, as the kids say, her best life by being married to this guy? And as the film goes on, you start to see the layers start to be pulled back, and you learn more about Clyde and about what he's about. You learn more about Gina and her desires. And I'm going to make a very random comparison, but stick with me here, people. It's really season 1 of Married with Children. I know, stick with me. Because if you remember, if you're a big Married with Children fan, the first season of it really is about Steve and Marcy, being this very newlywed, almost sickingly in how much in love they are, the whole puppy love thing, being newlyweds, and Alan Pegg, who've been married together for, been together for years. And then you see how Andy and Amaya, they go ahead and they interact with each other, and they feel supportive of each other, and they're supportive of each other's art, and they come from the city, and they have these different outlooks on things, and the way that Gina sees this outside perspective and how it starts to, quote, poison her worldview and gives her desires that she didn't have when it was just her and Clyde in their orbit. It's really fascinating how those walls begin to break down, and how Clyde is not a big fan of that. One thing I've noticed, and I'm not giving anything away by saying this, but and I think this is something you definitely learn the older that you get, but when you realize that someone is being manipulated, especially in an emotional sense, you really start to look for body language. Like people, some look at the ground, being timid, being very meek in the way that they speak, things like that. And that is something that Erin Moriarty, I'm so happy for her in this role, because obviously, yes, everyone's gonna go, everyone's gonna go like The Boys, and she's amazing on The Boys. Do not misunderstand. But I'm so happy that this is gonna be a performance that she can point to and go, I'm not just Starlight. Like, I'm so happy for her on that front, because she's amazing in this. Some of the stuff that she does with just her body language is just fucking heartbreaking. And where things end up, I just went, oh man, like, it's gonna be a very fun dialogue that people have once they watch this film. And I'll be the one to say it, and I think this will be a quite popular consensus. This is the performance of Jai Courtney's career. Like, I looked through, like, Love, Death, and Robots. He's actually really good on that episode, voicing Spencer. But between that and then, like Honest Thief and A Good Day to Die Hard, he's done some stuff I do really like. I think Terminator Genesis, he just gets a fucking bad rep for that movie, to be quite frank. I really don't think that's on him. I think that's a script. But he's great in Jack Reacher. He's great on Spartacus. He's great. Like, he's one of the few things that's great in Suicide Squad. If y'all haven't seen Buffaloed, you definitely should check that out. Courtney's had some really great performances. But for me, this is the performance of his career. He is terrifying in this. There is this point where And one thing that I really like from a director perspective is Stewart is definitely playing with the use of camera angles. There's this incredible shot where Aaron Moriarty's Gina is like washing something in the sink, and we get like an overhead shot of her just to really press through and express the frantic nature that she's feeling with what she's washing. No spoilers. That was incredibly well done. There's this really cool sequence at night where the couples are having a very intense verbal argument, but the filming is done from outside the trailer looking in, so it's like we're literally examining their relationships in real time. Just some very clever camera work that I went, hell yeah, man, first time director, let's fucking go. But it's those little things that really do make the film stand out, and really makes me think that, okay, this dude, he knows what he's doing, and he's good. And again, this is his first feature film. He's just gonna get better. Like, if this is his floor, like this being his floor is insane. And I'm really excited to see how his filmography continues to grow and build. But those are just a couple of the shots. There's one shot as well of a Clyde in like at dawn, and he's like looking towards the trailer. And you just see by the way, Jai Courtney, his beard, fantastic. It's one of the best beards I've seen in the movie in a few years. It is amazing. And I gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But that shot in particular is so fucking haunting and terrifying. And I mentioned the whole, volume knob, the sound dial earlier. The way that tension is just ramped up as the film goes on. There are some intense scenes between Jai Courtney and Aaron Moriarty, and it's just it breaks your heart because you realize how abusive he's being, but goddamn, it's crazy how intense some of their sequences get. There's this point where she goes ahead and Gina goes ahead and tells this person, like, you're gonna fucking listen to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of blacked out for a second, because it's one of those. Aaron Moriarty has this gear she's able to kick into, and it takes me back to season 1 of The Boys, where she's given that speech at that Christian conference where she just lays her truth out, where she just gets so focused, like it's almost like a surreal experience. And the way that she's able to just tap into this gear of just intensity, you go, oh shit, okay, we're like, this is not playtime. This is her like laser focus. Yeah, oh my god, you'll know the scene because it's near the end of the film, so I don't want to spoil it. But oh my god, the way that she goes ahead and relays some things near the end, I just went, oh my god, that's incredible. There is also a faux pas in here in terms of something that we learn about Amaya's character. You'll know it when it happens, but it's one of those moments where I just went, oh, I was like, this is why you don't assume. This is why you don't do that. But getting my final thoughts, y'all, I enjoyed this so fucking much. I'm always so happy when first time directors are able to step up and deliver something great just right out the gate, and get themselves on my radar. And this is a guy I'm gonna be watching. Like, I was so happy to see that this film was so great, and I can't wait to see what Stuart does next. Screenplay is really well done. Some great twists and turns, some great dialogue. As I mentioned, some incredible tension, some great shots. Aaron Moriarty is excellent in this. This is the performance of Jai Courtney's career. And I didn't talk about him too much, but Ryan Kaur and Dina Shahabi is who I'm gonna go with. Pardon me. The way that they go ahead and work off each other as this different couple, and the way that their tension comes up, independently and together when all four of them are together. I love the way that was handled. As far as a grade, yeah, B plus all day on this. I really enjoyed this, and this is something that I'll definitely be telling people to watch. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. So, Catching Dust, y'all, when you can go ahead and check this out, definitely make a point to do so. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. So, yeah, B plus from me. But yeah, y'all, Catching Dust, have y'all seen it? What you think about it? Let us know in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at jhunterreelpineapple. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/therealpineapple. Where else? Oh yeah, please subscribe to the show on YouTube. Definitely helps me out. Just go ahead and search The Real Pineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. You can go ahead and follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. And you can follow me at TikTok at Black Shazam. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. It definitely helps me out. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We're going to have reviews coming up for The Crow. God damn it. I don't want to see this new Crow movie, but I'll have a review up for that as well, which, god damn it, again, I don't want to watch it, but I'll have a review up for The Crow this week, or this weekend, as well as for there's other, what is the other stuff coming out? I know there's other things coming out this week. I think it was Blink Once. I think it's a new C Tates movie. Have a review up for that as well. And then I'm gonna combine my Deadpool and Wolverine review, probably with my MCU wish list stream that I'm gonna do. So I'll probably do both of those on the same day, but I'll keep you all updated on that. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other, give someone a hug, give someone a compliment. We could all use some more positivity, and never forget, as always, to keep it real.